All right, hi, and welcome back to Celebrity with Nene. So I'm Nene, and today I have Reese, Sean, and Johnny with me, and we're going to be doing a recap slash a review of Life After Lockup. All right, so on here we will be giving commentary and our opinions. These opinions are of our own, and everything we're saying is alleged. Okay? All righty, so guys, how's your Saturday going?
Good. It's
Everybody
going
having a
good. It's a
good
little
week?
rainy over here.
Okay. All right, Sean, how's your Saturday going?
Allegedly fine.
Okay. All right.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Okay. Well. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into the recap. So they started off with Sean and Sarah this week. Okay. So it picks up um, from their fight last week, and so Sarah and Sean are both standing outside in the snow. And what I couldn't get over is neither one of them really looked cold, but I know they had to be cold standing in that snow. But that was something that just kind of got to me. And so Sarah's out there and she's saying she's going to call her mom. And Sean begs her not to call her mom. It was actually a little funny. It was like, please don't call your mom. She already hates me. And so
Basically.
Sean, he convinces her to come back inside the house. She does. She like goes into the bedroom, and they maintain their space, which I did like that he did respect that because she did say if I go back inside, I need my space. So Sean stayed downstairs and Sarah was upstairs. And so then they show us the next morning. So Sean makes her breakfast, right? So Sarah, she's still upset by what she had learned, but she tells him that she understands what why he didn't tell her. All right. And so she tells him she's in a good place and she doesn't want to mess that up. Right. Okay. And so she also asks Sean about his kids. Like, what are they like? What is their mom like? So she does ask about the baby mama. And so then something happened that I didn't really care for. He starts basically trashing Kelly to Sarah. And I'm like, boy, this woman is taking care of your six kids by herself. That's one. Then two, last weekend, Destiny had spent up all his money and he needed $1,000 to go find Destiny. And he asked Kelly for the money.
Hmm.
And Kelly gave it to him. And then now here you are, dragging her in front of the other woman. Which for me, that's should be a red flag to women. Like if he's dogging out his baby mama, I know you know that she doesn't know what Kelly has done for this man, but it's like
Well,
the main thought in my mind would be, but she's got your six kids and you're in a whole nother state. But I digress. And so Sean asked her to move in with him. And so she says, she's not ready for that yet, which that's good. And yeah, so that was Sean and Sarah. So what did you guys think of them this week?
well, question. You said that the fact that he was bad mouthing the baby mama should be a red flag.
Hmm.
But what if it's true? Even though I know that's
I
not true.
mean, there is occasions where it would be true,
Uh-huh.
but for me, it kind of puts off like red flag vibes for me.
Oh, okay.
Especially, and I also feel like, especially considering the situation, you just told me you have six kids, and those six kids are not anywhere around here. So clearly, you're not like getting them on the weekends. I don't know what you're doing financially for them, but clearly, she is taking care of them alone. You should be grateful that she's doing that right now. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know what their financial situation is, but that's just my whole thing. Just at least give that woman that much respect that she's taking care of those kids alone right now.
Yeah, I get all that. I just wanted to know why would it be a red flag? 'Cause if so, then it should be a red flag if the baby mama is trashing the baby daddy to her new man. That's all I was just getting at.
But why is it a red flag if the woman does it, but it's not a red flag if the man does it?
Now that's why I was asking you, because if you said it was a red flag because of the man was doing it to the woman, and I was
Yeah.
gonna take it
Oh no, it's vice versa. Either way, I feel like that's a red flag.
as gotcha.
Like our first conversation about your baby mama or your baby daddy shouldn't really be, you talking negative about them.
Oh, okay. But what if you don't have nothing nice to say?
That could be the red flag. Like, why don't he have anything nice to say? He laid down and made these babies with her, but he can't say anything nice about her right now.
Oh, okay then.
Something was nice.
Now I'm just gonna take that note. So if I'm dating someone and she start bad mouthing her baby daddy, I'll be like, oh, okay, that's a red flag. But other than that, he's wrong. Um, I, the whole thing, the fact that how you say he like, please don't call your mom, please don't call your mom because she already mad at me. I thought that was funny. Like bunch of kids.
Yeah, because he looked desperate when he said that too. Like, don't call her. I was like, what?
And then being out in the cold, especially with his shirt being wet, I was like, yeah, oh, that should have did something. You know.
So let me ask you a question, Sean. Did he look cold to you? Because to me,
No,
they didn't look cold. But I know they had to be, right?
Yeah. And then too, it kind of looked like it was a long walk to walk back. I was like, good Lord, does he just walk down the street? I mean, down the sidewalk, out of the house, the garage. But because that long walk, you should have been had your mom on the phone. If not your mama, call her Uber. Come get me. Yeah. And the fact that he was able to convince her to stay, it's like, girl, you should have left. Should have went home and thought about it at your house and leave that joker alone because he ain't no good. Yeah, he ain't no good. And it was something that he did. Because the whole breakfast thing, I was like, oh, okay. You didn't know what to make, so you just made breakfast for her. She ate the breakfast. So I guess men out there, when you make it woman mad, just cook up breakfast in the morning. I would say it worked for him and it worked for Ray. So, hey, do your thing, dude. Learn how to cook in the kitchen.
I think I would have rather had Ray's breakfast than Sean's breakfast.
He gave her sausage
And bagels.
And bagels. Meat and bread. Made her feel like home because that's all she had in prison, meat and bread. So, yeah, because he's a bum. He's a bum. A smooth one, but yeah. Because he was able to convince her to come back in the house, and I thought he was going to actually sneak his way upstairs. That's what I was waiting for. You know.
Now he's going to sneak up there to try to get some cookie.
You did say it was good, so I've just seen what it's thinking, So, but yeah. That's what I think of.
Okay. Any other thoughts on them this week?
First go back to your comment about the red flags. So I would say I wouldn't 100% say every time you hear, like, I guess the first off, right off the bat, what would make it a red flag for me is if the fact that he, like you said, he ain't taking care of his kids. Obviously, you ain't met him. He lied about his kids, all this, and then he bashing the baby mama. But I feel like if you knew like he had kids and he does for his kids, but yet he bashed her, I guess to me, it might be something different because it might be something to it. You know what I mean? Like if you see him that he does a lot for his kids and he's bashing, I don't think that would be necessarily a red flag simply because she really might be crazy.
Well, let me clarify. I feel like if the first time you talk to me about them and you're just bashing them, I'm kind of hesitant to just jump on that bandwagon that, oh, you have a terrible baby mama.
Mm-hmm.
And then the follow-up that would also make me feel that way is, like you said, I'm not seeing the kids. You haven't mentioned going to visit them. So then it's like, wait a minute. So, this person is alone with your kids and you're bashing them to me. Maybe we need to be bashing you.
Maybe I missed something. Because she asked him, how was your relationship? And he said that she didn't like him.
Right.
Yeah, he did say she didn't like him. And then he was talking about she be in his business. She gets into his business too much. But the crazy part is that she's not jumping in it. You're bringing her into it.
Mhm.
Yeah, because he always
Like
called.
with Destiny, yeah, like with Destiny, he brought her into it, calling and complaining about Destiny to her and stuff
Um,
like that. So he was dragging her in.
See now, if he had all adult kids and there was no way of her ever, if her ever meeting Kelly, I could understand him saying like, yeah, she be all in my business and we just don't get along, blah blah blah. So if there's any lies in that, that's stupid because he still has kids that live at home, meaning them two married. She's gonna have to eventually meet Kelly, and then she can ask like, um, or she would make a comment like, "Hey, just you always into his business, you still in his business," and then she would be like, "Nah, he tells me everything. He's the one telling me." You know what I mean? So I feel like he was dumb for saying something that she could verify. Because
yeah,
the
Yeah.
kids do live at home. If they were
And then
grown, it'd be different.
yeah. Yeah, and then the other thing that also bothered me about what he said, he was like she doesn't want you around the kids because you're a criminal.
Yeah,
Which I feel like, in all honesty, why are you telling her that? That should be a concern of any mother's. Like, wait a
yeah.
minute, you finna move and live with this criminal now. I don't want that person around my kids. I mean, that's understandable. I don't know what was the purpose of you opening your mouth and even telling her that part.
That should have been something maybe he could have said if she asked, like, when can I meet him? Like, let me talk to her
Yeah,
some more because she's not comfortable with you. Because, but if she ain't even said, got to that point, then why throw salt on a wound that wouldn't even open?
right.
Uh, but I thought, like, their situation, I it would have been nice if she had left just because I feel like get away from him and process that. But I understand why he didn't want her to go home mad because then she would have been to the mom. The mom would have got super crazy and it would have killed the relationship.
Yeah.
But I think for her sake, it should have been killed. Like it should have been. It should have been. Like, cause I mean, he might be telling her all his secrets now, but I mean, what other things is he gonna lie about in the future, or what other things is it that we just don't know that he's lied about? So I don't know. He's not trustworthy to me. You haven't explained why. Just y'all don't get along. So what? She doesn't let you see your kids. Like she needs to ask more questions and find out about these kids. I feel like,
Yeah.
um, and then him saying let's move in. That's too quick. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm glad she did say no to that, but it's like that's another red flag. Like, why you trying to hurry and get me to move in real quick? Like, you want to marry? Doing stuff too soon is like sometimes somebody who's either I don't know. I don't really trust when somebody act a certain way too soon. I know they've been dating for a while or some years or whatever over the phone and stuff, but I don't know. Like you just expose a whole lot of stuff, and then you're gonna say that. Like I'm glad she at least, if nothing else, said she wanted to think about that because that was. I'm like, where do you in your right mind think it's gonna be okay for you to tell, or you think she's gonna be like, okay, now that she didn't shared everything, yeah, I'm coming. Like you gotta bring your child around him. Now the baby mama got a problem with you. There's a lot that's gotta be sorted out. So
Okay. All right, Miss Johnny, what were your thoughts on Sean and Sarah?
Well, being the baby mama who's cool, who gets talked shit about to the new chicks that come into the picture, I think personally he was just trying to let her know that there was really nothing between him and the baby mom. I know we still haven't really figured out the ages of all these kids because he said he last dealt with her at 9 years ago.
Yeah,
But
9 years
I
ago.
thought his kids were a little bit younger than 9 years. So I'm kind of confused with that. Um, but I think he would. I don't know that he was necessarily like dissing her like that. I think he was just trying to give her a comfortability because he does have 6 kids with this one woman. That there's nothing there with her. Like, don't worry about her in the sense of us being together because I don't want her for whatever reason. I think it was more along those lines, not so much as bad mouthing her as a mother or bad mouthing her in
As a person?
as a person. I think it was just more so feel comfortable that I'm not going to cheat on you with her because I don't care for her.
I can see that too.
That's the way I took it because she was, I think she was trying to that relationship people are very insecure for. So sometimes keeping that drama or giving you a heads up or making you feel like there may be drama keeps that person away from asking questions. So, been there, done that quite a few times. But outside of that, well, he also said they had an argument that night. It would have been nice to see what that argument was about because obviously during the day, that wasn't the same argument they had at night because he said he was pretty much
Mm.
walking on eggshells. And that's why he fixed her the breakfast because he was very nervous that their relationship was done. Um,
So they
the
argue
other
some more.
thing, yeah, because he said they had another argument, but they didn't cover that. So we have no idea what that was about.
You
Uh,
know, one quick thing before you go to. So that's probably how she only knew that he only had one baby mama. Because you would think if somebody had 6 kids, I would ask like, how many
Yeah,
baby
that was
mamas?
something I was wondering. Like, when are you gonna ask him how many baby mamas do you
Yeah, but
have?
she made it clear like she knew it was only one. So
it
that
was
might have been
only
part of the
one.
argument.
Yeah, so probably like, maybe she argued about how many women, and then she was actually calm when she asked him about their relationship.
Hmm.
So like I said, I just personally feel like it was more of don't worry about her. I have 6 kids with her, but I don't want to be with her. She's this, she's that. Yeah, even though he brings her into his business. But that's up to her to stop because I was that baby mama too. I was all up in his business because he brought it to me. Therefore, it made me concerned, made me worry, made me say things or be in his life in a way that he didn't really care for, but then why are you telling me? So she needs to stop that as well. Not so much him telling her his business, but she needs to also be the one to say, I ain't trying to hear all that. That's your life. You deal with it. Nope, I ain't giving you no money for that. That's your life. You deal with it. Nope, you better not miss this much child support because you got to pay her $1,000. I don't want to hear about it. She has to stop that cycle too. And I know that's hard to do considering their span, but she needs to get on track and just realize he is the father of your kids, not necessarily going to have that type of friendship relationship with him. So she's got to stop that as well. I wonder how their relationship is now since she's no longer the one baby mama. Now she's going to have a
Mm.
person who has a kid with him. So it'll be interesting to see if they bring that dynamic into the picture.
That's
Yeah.
weird. Like you got 6 kids and then here you go with another one.
Well, you probably feel like you're special. Oh, he only had kids with me, you know? And this is why I can do this, or this is why I can say that. And this is why I am a part of this. And this is why I'm in his life like this. And this is why we're friends. So I
Hmm.
wonder how she actually took it, you know,
Once
Yeah.
she saw it, yeah.
once she saw it and once they actually have a kid, or I don't know if the baby's born yet, but I
Now
just
she's still
wonder.
pregnant from the pictures I saw online. Looks
Yeah, I
like
saw
she's still
those
pregnant.
pictures.
I just wonder. But yeah, like I said, I don't really think he was bad mouthing her in a sense of her mothering. I think he was bad mouthing her in the sense
Yeah,
of
I don't think it
I'm
was a
not
sense
going to
of
be with her.
mothering, but it's like for me, if your way of comforting a woman is to talk bad about another, what does that say about you? And then also, if a man is trying to comfort me by talking bad about someone else, because that's kind of what it almost came out to as well. It's kind of like, wait a minute, bruh, why are we going down this rabbit hole? That's just my thing. But that was just my feelings on it. All right, so the next couple we saw was Lacey and Shane. All right, so um, Shane says he's not happy with the results of the polygraph. Right, that's what he's saying. He said he passed, but he's not happy. But my thing is, well, I ain't gonna go there quite yet. All right, so they go to counseling, and they sit down at the counseling session, and Lacey's immediately she starts telling the counselor, that she felt like Shane was cheating on her, and then starts giving her the details of what happened at the polygraph, right? And she says, she's saying stuff like Shane, he did. he doesn't want her sexually. At least this time she wasn't saying, "Oh, he's not touching me at all," but she's saying there's no interest sexually, right? And so, she reveals that she has gone through Shane's phone and got into his OnlyFans. And she's saying that, she went on there and she goes on there like every day. I guess now she knows his screen name, so now she can go on to OnlyFans without going into his phone through there. But she was like, I'm on there all the time. And she's seeing, I've never watched an OnlyFans show or whatever it's called, when they post up whatever. So I don't know how that works, like if people would just comment or if she saw
But
messages.
no, she actually said she goes on his OnlyFans all the time, and that's not where he's doing whatever he's doing. She said it's another website he's using.
Oh, it's a different website? Okay.
And she
And
said because she
so,
goes on his OnlyFans, she knows what he does on there.
okay. So she says that he's only interacting with the guys. He's not interacting with the girls. And so, she's upset. Um, she she also reveals that she's disappointed in him as a husband because she said that she didn't want any more children, but he wanted a baby really badly. And she went through IVF, to have this baby. And now he's acting like he's unhappy being a father. The baby's crying, it frustrates him, upsets him, or whatever. And she's just not happy with that. And she says she's not in love with him anymore. So, and then she asked Shane, was he still in love with her? And he told her, yeah, he was. So what did you guys think of Shane and Lacey this week?
Well, when he first said it, I don't know if that was a camera trick of the camera or if it was actually he hesitated and he said, "I love you." Yeah, I'm in love with you, both of them or whatever. But it's like, um, she said, "Are you in love with me?" And he said, "I love you." That's hurtful. Because she asked, "Are you in love with me?" Not love me. Two
But
different things.
some people don't realize there's a difference between being in love and loving somebody. And that's what I kind of just took from that. I didn't think he was trying to say the way she said it, like she's not even in love with him anymore. And she also had said she wished she had a baby by somebody else, which I'm imagining that she's talking about John.
She
But
already
it's
got a
like,
baby for other people.
girl, leave that alone. You married somebody else,
she
and now you're here in this counseling session, and everything you're saying is almost like you're just ready to give up already.
Yeah, yeah. Now
So,
that I will agree. She sounds like she done, and she sounds like even though she said in her little side thing that um, if he was willing to work on it, she'll try her best. I don't think so because she was giving him side eyes. She was, kept making the comments because even though he said, "I do love you," I'm in love with you and I love you, whatever. However, it was whether it was the camera doing that to make it seem that way, or whether it was genuine, or he was confused. Whatever the case may be, she was more hurtful through it all, and she fake cried. I was like, "Chick, stop!" That cry was like the worst cry. I was like, and she was trying so hard to push some tears out, they would not come. Like she was just pushing at it, like, and I'm like, "Girl, stop! Just stop!" And eventually she did, and her eyes was perfectly white with no watery, no, not even a drip in the corner. I was like, "Girl, stop with your fake crying. You are not sad about this at all. This was just to me, another step in leaving him, like to get him to go in here and say things." Now I am curious about what she found on other sites. Um, because she said he has the OnlyFans, which we already knew she knew about the OnlyFans. But it makes sense now that she's shocked about the men because maybe that's not where he was doing it, was on the OnlyFans. He was doing it on somewhere else. And yeah, so I'm curious on what he actually said, you know what I mean? But then what I didn't like also in this scene was the psychologist. And I feel like this is what makes people not want to go see psychologists because I think that it can be a good thing. But she was taking Lacey's side the whole time. Like, so she was like, "Shane, you're attacking her. You're aggressive." Now, going back and looking at some clips, he is an aggressive
yeah.
person. If he was
Right,
getting upset,
he was being mean. I would say more so he was being mean to her because I was feeling that he was saying things to her that you shouldn't be saying to your spouse.
mm-hmm. You
You
talking about
know,
those previous clips and
Uh,
stuff?
Well,
yeah,
on those other clips, because I didn't watch his history, their history. was it something that she did? Was it a back and forward thing? Because the
It
way
had
they
to do
wrote
with
it down,
John. Yeah, it had to do with John.
Yeah.
I'm
so
sorry. How respectful are you supposed to be to the wife who cheated on you?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how much respect are you supposed to get for that when you screwed another man in my house?
No, and
I'm not
that's
going to be very
understandable.
respectful either. I'm going to be throwing shit and talking shit and calling you all kinds of names because you screwed another man in my home.
Oh, you wouldn't even be in my home still, but
You see what I'm saying? So I don't know how respectful he's supposed to be to her after that.
hmm but I mean, just saying, just looking at the clips and seeing that he does get really angry. Well, I don't know how angry she gets. She seemed like a calm manipulator. Like she just throws jabs at you calmly to the point you probably want to yell because I hate when people do that too. Like I hate that. Don't you seem all under control and I'm out of control? No, gonna get you out of control. But that's just me because I'm an emotional person. Um, but I didn't like that the psychologist was kind of siding with her. Like the psychologist should have actually been like, "What you just said is wrong." When she said, "I don't even love you," like, okay, now we need to pause and say, "Why do you not love him?" And is it even possible that you're gonna love him again? Like none of that was asked. And I'm like, she was like, "Y'all need to go home." And so she pretty much was a dumb psychologist. I ain't gonna say that. Maybe the cameras took stuff out. She was no good.
Allegedly, she was a dumb psychologist.
Allegedly she was no good because she did nothing to help them. She just listened to them vent, and
Yeah.
she took Lacey's side and was more mean to him. And to me, anybody who never has been to a psychologist or people who've had bad experiences or people who are thinking of marriage counseling, seeing stuff like that would scare me. I'd be like, well, shoot, she gonna take one side and then the other person gonna get bashed, whether it's the
Yeah,
man
she
or the
was
woman.
very, yeah, she was very biased. Um,
Yeah, and she shouldn't be that way as a psychologist. You're supposed to be that non, like if somebody's saying something wrong, it doesn't matter which side it's coming from. Point that out because you're that one that doesn't have an opinion. You're
yeah,
looking from the outside in.
yeah, because both of them said things to each other in that session that they really, it wasn't necessary.
No, and then when he got kind of a little bit frustrated about the dad comments, I guess I didn't see him as being aggressive. I saw him as just being like,
Yeah,
"Wait, what?"
it
Like,
hurt his feelings.
yeah.
I mean,
So, so those are some things I saw. I didn't really care for how that went down. Like, I feel like it was all just a setup so Lacey can go be with John. That's all this is.
hmm
Yeah, I
yeah,
don't like, I really get annoyed that she's not being honest about her shit. You know, you want to sit here and bash this man for making money. I don't necessarily agree with it being that way, but if that's how he's making money and he's bringing in the house, because you were talking shit that he wasn't bringing money in the house when actually he is. So then you want to sit here, you're already starting cheating on him because you're emotionally still tied to this other guy, and then that's y'all's thing because y'all said
Mhm.
emotional is still
Yeah,
cheating.
she is.
So you're
yeah.
you're
Oh,
already
she's
starting that,
absolutely, yeah.
huh? Yeah,
I
you're
said
already
she's
starting
absolutely,
that,
yeah,
but you're not owning it. You
hmm
know, like you go to counseling to bring both your shit to the table, not just his. You have to bring both of it. She should have said, I've already started back reaching out to this dude because he gives me stuff that he won't, and blah 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 blah, and I'm falling out of love, blah 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 blah. Like she's horrible. She's another horrible person who
hmm
manipulates people into getting what she wants. And I think
Yeah.
that's just ridiculous. And that counselor, if she were a good counselor, she would have asked those questions.
hmm
Well, if he's doing this, then what are you doing? How did it start? Why are
hmm
you this way? Why do you feel like you're doing this? Why do you da da da
hmm
da? But she didn't even ask those
well,
questions.
because she manipulated the lady from the start. She said she did admit that there was cheating and that they had gave it a completely fresh start. You remember when she told that lady that, and then
hmm
she jumped into what he did in the polygraph test. So it's like she set up the conversation to go a certain way, and the therapist fell for it.
Right. And that's what manipulators do.
Yeah,
So
she's a master manipulator.
she
Yeah.
is. She's one of the worst. She's the
hmm
worst. So and that's not alleged.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
fact.
she show it.
She's
uh,
horrible.
Yeah.
All right, Sean. So what are your thoughts?
uh, like you said from the jump,
Mm-hmm.
it was uh, out to make Lacey look like the victim, the, the damsel in this distress,
Yeah.
perfect wife. Because when they had asked the psychologist had asked the question, "Why y'all here?" He didn't say we're here because he took the test and he had agreed to come here, and so that you can tell me, what I should take the test or not. She didn't mention that. You
No.
know. So, because out of and then on him, he should have said that. He should have stepped up and said, "No, we here because I agreed to come here because she agreed to take the test, the line test, pilot test, everything." But the psychologist is the reason why I do not like psychologists. Because like you say, you go in there and you go with someone and they take someone's side and the other person gets bashed. Because I had experienced that, and that was I was the bad guy because I was a big bad black man, and the other person was all small and stuff. So automatically that person was the victim. I was the bad person in the scenario. So all the right questions was in asked, and that's near here or there. But um, so girl was wrong. Uh, I'm Lacey. I didn't like the way she manipulated the psychology. I didn't like the way the cameraman or the producer of the show had only showed him at his angry moment to justify him being a mean person or angry person.
Yeah.
Then when he did mention the cheating, he didn't say he cheated before we got married, and I did my cheating after we got married, and my man that I cheated with him kicked him out the house, and this is the reason why we have these issues. Like Johnny said, she didn't own none of her situation.
No, because even what she told the therapist, they started their clean slate after Shane forgave her for moving John into the house and kicking him out.
Why?
Like they literally threw all his stuff in the yard, kicked Shane out the house. But
So,
she didn't mention any of that. But that's where the clean slate came from after he forgave you. Because, she kind of set John up to get arrested and then she brought Shane back into the house.
mm.
Mm.
Now, how old
She
was
didn't mention any of that.
how long they was married for?
They've been married maybe probably like a year. They haven't been married like a long time because last season they got married at the beginning. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. Uh, oh, that's that right there. Uh, when they had asked him, I don't remember the question that the psychologist had asked him, but he was telling how he felt about
Mhm.
the baby crying and all that there. He was saying that he was depressed, he was upsetting, and he was pretty much opening up. So that was the moment for Lacey and the psychologist to say, well, okay, he was depressed, and we can work on this here and do something to us why you was depressed, how you was feeling, and then to help him get up out of that funk, because that also could be the reason why he didn't want to touch her, because he's not feeling confidence in himself, and so why would he want to perform? Because he don't love himself, so he
Yeah.
can't. You know, and the
Right.
fact that he probably felt bad about the way he was feeling secretly about his children or his child, and he didn't want to. So the psychologist should have dig a little bit deeper on that to help him out of his situation and not attack him and say that, oh, you angry, and you need to stop being angry, stop being a mean person.
Right. And I don't think they're also really looking at the bigger picture of the situation. Okay. So, like, she was fussing about him needing money. He needs to bring money into the house. Okay. So now he's done this.
Mm-hmm.
So, this, we know he wasn't cheating on you with a woman. But if he's sitting up here moaning and groaning and masturbating to men, he probably don't want to have sex because he's already gotten his off for today. So that is probably the reason why he's not touching you. And then two, he's sitting there telling you that he's depressed, maybe because what he's doing online is something he doesn't want to do. And so that's depressing him. That's
Mhm.
that's just my I
Yeah.
could be wrong with that. But that was what I was thinking. I'm like, you know what, he's probably depressed because he's he's not gay, he's not wanting to do these things, but he's doing this to bring money into the house, which I'm not justifying that or whatever, but that's what he's doing and it's probably depressing him because
Yeah.
that's still not enough.
Right.
And
I
he
mean,
probably wants to go.
yeah,
Oh,
like I don't know. I'm sorry, Sean. Go ahead.
because I was gonna say also as a father, for the mother to say that I regret having a baby with you, that's very hurtful. And
Right.
on top of that, not only would that be hurtful to me feeling it for myself, I'm feeling it for my child as well. Because you're telling me that you regret that the child was born.
Mhm.
Right. And you wish somebody else was my child's father?
Right.
Like, if
So,
somebody told me I wish my child had a different mother than you, that would crush me.
mm, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah.
Okay, so
That's
Johnny, what were you say?
no, I was just gonna say, like, I mean, think about that as a man, or even as well, men have this uh it's not a stereotype, but you just already know how strong men are. Their thought, well, most of them, how they have these thought processes of being in control, taking this, doing this. And imagine putting yourself in a degrading situation to where you're earning money for your household,
Mm-hmm.
and I can actually sympathize with that. Like I would, if I were her, I would be like, "Damn, I'm so sorry. I made you feel like you couldn't work, that you had
Right,
to go out here and pretend to be gay to bring money in the house." Like
right,
I would totally like reverse look at myself. Like I didn't mean for you to do that. If you can stop doing that and go ahead and get a job, I have this. But I mean, it just also goes to show that she didn't want that baby in the first place. And having it by IVF is not cheap. So it ain't
no,
like, you just went to the doctor and said, "Yeah, I just want to get pregnant with this baby." No, you have to go through
tried
shots,
and
go through
all
all
kind of tests.
kinds of stuff,
Yeah.
in order to even have this kid, and how much money you spent having this kid. And that's just crazy. She's just nuts. I mean, it's kind of sad that he even wanted her to be the mother to his children, because she's ugh, I would have turned around and said, "I wish my kid wasn't your daughter. I wish I didn't pay all this money to have a kid with you. You're horrible.
Then the psychologist would have told you, now, you shouldn't be attacking
You
him.
shouldn't talk to her like that." Man, please.
Hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, because I think that's the biggest thing that Lacey's not realizing is that she turned her husband into a sex worker. Now, I'm not knocking any kind of sex workers or anything like that, so I don't want to be taken like that. But you turned him into that. You showed him that, and now you're upset that he's going about it a little bit of a different route than the way you wanted him to go.
And you got to think about it. Think how much more money he gets doing that than he would if he were doing it with a woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he were doing stuff like that with women, he probably would get a couple hundred here and there. But the fact that he's doing it with men, they make a lot of money because they're outside their norm. From what I've heard, because I've never actually been a man and done gay porn, but gay porn men who are actually heterosexuals, they get paid way more money doing the gay porn, which is why they don't do regular porn anymore, because they get dimes on the dollars when they can get dollars on the dollars. So it's just, imagine the difference in money that he makes and the fact that he feels like he had to do that in the first place. Like I said, I would just be more like, "Oh my gosh, I wanted you here because, to be honest with you, that's the honest conversation. You knew I didn't want this baby. She crying all damn day. I don't want to deal with all that. You need to be home and deal with it."
Yeah, that's kind of the vibe I got. I'm like, so okay, so I get it. Now you don't want to take care of the baby because you feel like you didn't want the baby,
Hmm.
and now you're mad that he's not helping out.
I
But
need you to
that's
go. If
always,
you're going to
you
go to
know,
work, get
you
me a
need to want
nanny.
that baby.
Yeah, give me a nanny and have this nanny here all damn day, because I don't want to deal with this child until
Right.
you get home, and then you can deal with it. I'm done. Like, that should be the a top topic, or the discussion. Not so much you
Or she
made
needs to
him
go to
stop
counseling.
working.
Yeah, or she needs to go to counseling to figure out how to love your child where you're not saying and behaving like this on TV.
Yeah, but I don't think that's gonna help, because she's a selfish person.
Yeah, because all this came about because he didn't have sex with her 6 times a day.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Uh,
And
but
even as a
only
new mom, I don't even see how you would even want to have sex that many times a day. You lucky you get it once a week being a new mother, trying to learn that whole, I don't know how many kids she said she had. She had more than two. So I think you
Yeah,
said one
she's
of her
got like
kids are an
4.
adult. So she must not have custody of all her kids.
I don't think so. Or she's not showing all of them on camera
Oh,
because
okay.
remember she had one at 17, so she should have like a teenager now.
Right, because he would be 16 because she's 32. So he would still be in the household.
Hmm. Yeah, so she just may not be showing him on camera. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So
It's a lot
imagine
to
he's going
process,
to,
new babies.
yeah. As a teenager, he's getting teased at school because some of his friends said, "Oh, your mama dating a man that do gay porn."
Man, could you imagine? You've opened up a whole nother can of worms focusing on
I
this whole
mean,
thing.
yeah, when you think about it, also this little girl will one day see that her dad was doing that, and then her mom was sitting up there talking about she wished
How
she
she
did
didn't
well
want her.
didn't have a baby by yeah didn't want her wish that her daddy wasn't her daddy,
Mm-hmm.
and we seen her mama
And
lust
then of
after
course that creates a whole nother drama,
yeah
Yeah.
depending on how that child will be emotionally. Either she
right
can use that to start acting out and being a different way or
Mm-hmm.
yeah
whatever. So way
Mama,
to
I knew
go.
you never loved me, Mama.
Say
mm-hmm
that again, Sean. I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
They should tell her, Mama, see, Mama, I knew you never loved me.
yep.
Mm-hmm.
Lacey tried to discipline her. You're doing this because you don't like me,
Right.
All the reason why you don't want to buy me this car is because you didn't like me back in 2021. So,
Mhm.
Man, don't they like to pull back? Be like, I did what when you were 5?
Oh yes, they remember.
They
They
uh,
sure
remember
do.
real good. They do, and they
So
won't let you live it down. Absolutely. All right, so I guess we can move on, mosey on to Nicole and Tia. Now, this episode, I don't know about you guys, but this episode was very a sad episode, very
mhm.
somber. Okay. So we see Tia and Nicole. Um, Tia is telling Nicole that she wants to go ahead and get married right away. Um, she says she's having surgery and she would like to get married before she has the surgery. So she don't know what may happen and she wants to get married. And so Nicole is saying that she really wants to get married the traditional way, which I think in her words is she wants a big wedding because she was saying how she wanted crystals on the floor and diamonds on the walls. Um,
yeah, I take it. Good job.
yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, yeah, with Deontay's credit card because neither one of you two are working. How are you gonna pay for that, sis?
Girl, you better get some glitter.
I know. She can
Don't,
make glitter diamonds.
You
I
I,
know,
used to do it with glue on
you
my
listen,
little
better get
cardboard.
glitter and resin. You better pour that glitter in that resin.
Yeah, we do it DIY,
Anissa
DIY girl.
should have some good from them signs she was making.
He wrong. Leave that poor woman alone. But that dude got his teeth fixed and left her. Like, man.
Did he get the teeth fixed or did he
Yeah.
leave her with the snaggle tooth? Oh, okay.
He got his teeth fixed and he left her.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave old face Anissa alone today. I was about to just go in. I felt it. I was like, let me leave her. I'm gonna leave her alone today. Right. And so they agree to go ahead and get married. Then they show us Deontay. So Deontay's mom comes to visit. I like watching Deontay's mom. I do.
Hmm.
She's funny. And so she tells him that she thinks there's a I'm sorry. He is saying, like in his confessional, he thinks there's a reason why Nicole keeps reaching out to him. Like, yeah, because she's still trying to make sure you can be her cash cow when she needs you to be. That's why there's some love there between you and her. We see Nicole trying on dresses, and she actually ends up having an anxiety attack while trying on these dresses. We see her crying and drinking water, trying to calm herself down and stuff. We see her mom and some of the salespeople trying to, help her. And she starts saying that her and Taya have broke up. I don't know why I want to keep calling her Taya. I think because I know what Taya. That her and Tia broke up a lot in the past and would get back together. but their breaking up really, would affect her when they did break up.
Mhm.
Which maybe she shouldn't go through with the wedding. That's just my thought process. You're having these anxiety attacks, thinking about getting married to the person that you're about to marry. I don't know. I don't know. So we see, so they go back to Deontay, and we see is it his friend or his cousin Derek?
His friend.
Derek is his friend. Okay, so we see Derek shows up at the house with the mom. Oh my gosh, I love the scenes, mom and Derek together getting on to Deontay. It was funny. It was hilarious. And so Deontay had mentioned that Nicole came by his job. And Derek is like, she came where? She did what? Why was she there? And then the mom, and then he was doing it to make sure the mom could hear her.
Yeah.
And then the mom was like, she did what? She came where?
Mhm.
Who's she driving? It was just great. I was loving it. And he was like, yeah, she came to tell me that she was engaged. And she's like, why did she come and tell you that she was engaged? What was the purpose of that? So they didn't really understand that. But that scene was funny to me. I was just like, y'all are too funny. Y'all need to come onto the screen every time Deontay comes. I think it has some comic relief, right? All right, so what did y'all think of the scenes with Tia, Nicole, and Deontay this week?
I'm not much of a Nicole fan. I
Mm-hmm,
don't care for her at all. But
mm-hmm,
I think her anxiety comes from a place where, okay, I think they said they had been engaged for a month now at this particular point of them filming. So I don't think she really thought they were going to get married so fast. And then to
mm-hmm.
have the pressure of getting married, find out that your potential spouse may die in the next few months. I think all of that is enough. And then to have the anxiety of, oh man, we're getting married, but this will be the longest we've ever been together, not knowing how on and off their relationship used to be. Um, and I don't know that maybe she was verbalizing herself well, because I think I would be very anxious knowing that my spouse is fixing to go into surgery. It may not come out. Of course, that's given it with any surgery, but may not come out, or if they do come out, may not have a long lifespan. And then that breakup is forever because they're not here.
Oh,
So I meant I can kind of understand why she was so upset, and they could have just focused just based on the breakups just for whatever. But I think that's a lot to process when you're trying to get married in a week when you thought you had months, maybe even a year to get married, and your partner may not make it a year. So that was kind of a lot to put on her like that. And it's kind of weird that they just brought it up now, because obviously this girl's known she's had health issues for a while.
right. And then they say, well, Tia said that it's her liver that she has. I forgot what.
That the
She
lumps
got
bust.
sister
Yeah, they got
tumors
the
She
and
had
cyst.
cyst. The
Tumor.
cyst burst,
Yeah,
and
and
she's
so
been waiting and waiting to do the surgery because she's scared, which anyone would be.
yeah, anybody would be scared. I guess my first thought back was, I was like, oh my gosh, she was sitting there drinking at that restaurant. That probably wasn't good either. I hope that didn't.
She smokes.
Yeah, she also smokes too. Yeah.
That doesn't normally stop people, but sometimes putting your life in perspective, like if I felt like I had 8 months left, or a possibility of just 8 months left, I
Hmm.
think I'd try and do everything now and hope that I'll live past those 8 months. But
Right.
that's scary. I don't know. And I think her worry and her the word is pressuring, because she is pressuring her to get married, because she wants to make sure they're married before she has the surgery, so that if anything does go down, Nicole's the one who makes the decisions, because maybe she doesn't trust her parents to do right by her, or to let her go. Maybe she doesn't trust whoever to do what she'd want. And I'm
Hmm.
sorry, as a parent, if it were my child, I don't want you pulling that plug in 2 seconds. I don't want you, you know what I'm saying? Like, give me a few
But
months.
if that person is their spouse, there's nothing.
There's nothing you can do, which is what I'm saying, as far as why she may want Nicole to be married to her when she goes under, because she knows it might do too much to her parents or whatever the case may be, why she'd want Nicole to have that power over her life like that. And that's a lot. I mean, as I'm
Yeah.
trying on that wedding dress and realizing why I'm getting married so fast, I'd be kind of freaked too.
Yeah.
And as far as Deontay goes, I don't care how many was that. The funny part was when she said, "Get off the bus." I was like, "What do you mean by get off?" When the mom was like, "Get off the bus," I was like, "Get off the
Yeah.
bus." But
Riding on a
yeah,
little
I
short
mean,
bus.
he's just nuts.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
he's not the one. You are not the one for Nicole.
Yeah.
It'd be
No.
best if you could just accept that and move on.
Yeah, that's the
Now
sad.
you're gonna be waiting around for Tia to die, I guess.
Yeah, and then of course, oh, if she dies, she's gonna need me.
Hmm. I have to be there for her, and
Hmm.
while she's grieving.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that
That's a sad life to live, sitting there
it
waiting on
is.
somebody to want you.
Yeah,
Yes, it is.
very sad life. I can't imagine. All right, so Reese and Sean, what were your thoughts?
I don't know. Um, so I felt like, so going back to Deontay now first, because that was funny. Like the mom and Derek together they're hilarious. Like I love it too. But he don't listen. He does not listen because
No,
he's still saying for some reason he think that was his invite to the wedding. Which I
right.
assume he got an invite to the wedding. That's the dumbest thing. So that explains why in the future clips why there's a fight because they probably like, why are you even here? Now mind you, that he may have gotten an invite, or maybe We TV made him go. I don't know for the drama purposes, but either way, if he thought that what Nicole did was an invite, that's dumb, like super dumb. So I don't know where his head at. Like to me, he just don't make sense. He's like just dumb in love. Like you get absolutely 100% nothing out of this, but yet you think like you still got some sort of chance. And the way it sounded was he thinks she wants him to come and save her. Like maybe that person that said, "Is there any reason that they shouldn't be wed?" And he's supposed to be like,
Oh,
I got a reason." Like that's what I think he believes.
yeah,
So hopefully he don't do no silliness like that. Or maybe that's why they was fighting. Maybe he does do it. Who knows?
yeah. And then my thing is, why would you want to hurt yourself in that manner?
Yeah, 'cause I wouldn't be able to
You
see it.
can't. Yeah, because he wouldn't be able to tell me that he could go to that wedding and he would not be hurt watching them get married.
Mhm.
Right.
I mean, I don't
I
understand.
remember, I remember back in the day. Y'all remember Esther Williams and she had that song "Congratulations" and in the
Hmm.
video she busted in it. I remember that. He can go on and get married.
Get married. Yeah, when my ex got married, I was just laid up in the bed crying. And I hated I knew everything. That was the part I hated. That's why I was like, y'all don't love me. Why would you tell me what day he's getting married? Why would you tell me what time he's getting married? So I'm sitting there at 5 p.m. like, you should have gone to North Carolina and stopped it. You should have stopped it. That is
Yeah.
not fun at all. Why? I wish I
Yeah,
didn't know those things.
Mm.
And
yeah.
the
I mean, I
mean
can see
language.
because
I had to
me
get
and
my
my
son's
ex
haircut
husband.
because he was in the wedding. I'm sorry.
Oh, like,
I just had a moment.
yeah.
But just all of that. Like I'm sitting here getting my son's haircut for his dad's wedding. And my son did not like haircuts. So imagine the fight that I have to deal with.
See, that would have been where I'm like, you got to get his hair.
I was sitting there trying to be nice, right? I'm the
Yeah.
bad baby mama
Mm.
that got issues that was actually got him ready for his dad's wedding.
That's messed up.
Yeah.
I
And I think that's
know, but
something,
hey.
we've probably all been through. I remember I had an ex that got married on me. The girl he had cheated on me with. I cried that whole day. Like, and like an idiot, I had asked him, like, what day are y'all getting married? And he told me. So that day I was sad.
Girl, we weren't friends then, but I'm sure we would have just been sad together.
I can tell you,
Look,
I listened to a Drew Hill CD that whole day and cried that whole day
I
from
just was
morning till
I
night.
I don't even, I don't even remember what I did that day. I just remember being curled up on my bed and looking at the time every single minute, like, oh, my kids are probably walking down the aisle right now. Oh, they're probably doing this right now. It was a long ass day.
Shoot. But you know what? My ex, I believe, if not recently, probably got married, is going to be getting married to the woman that he got pregnant before we even got divorced. But I don't know no details. Like they might be married right now. They might be getting married. Like it don't bother me or
That way.
anything. Because
Ignorance
I
is
had a
truly
long time to
bliss.
process that. But it is kind of like I don't know why she doing because he cheated on her a lot. Whatever. Anyways.
Yeah.
So, but I'm not sad about it. But I would not want to see the wedding. I wouldn't want to go to it because me and him didn't even have a wedding. So if they have an actual wedding, I wouldn't want to see it. Like, and if I found out he paid for it, I'd really be like, oh, okay, because I paid for
Girl.
stuff. But
Yeah.
I don't know. So I ain't got that.
Yeah, I think yours is just a little bit of difference because you had some time. Like for me, it was like a month after we got after we broke up, they got married to her.
Yeah.
So it was like I still was not over our relationship.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But I still even. But even with it being like that, I wouldn't want to go to it or see it.
That was the other thing. They had my freaking wedding colors. I was
so you was like acrimony, man. Like they did
acrimony with the purpose, because her reasoning was just he did not do very well with that storyline because I really didn't get it.
I was like, that why? Maybe it's for the like the kind of crazier women because I got it.
No, I didn't get it because he tried with her.
No,
it is totally not like he didn't try.
But she went through all that time. That was like 20 years of her life.
20 years. I waited for you to get your shit together. And then when he kept telling her, it's coming. Please work with me. Please work with me.
He said that for 20 years, though.
Yeah. And then, he made her lose her mom's house. Like, everything she went through.
Yeah.
Then but he gave her the money back. But he gave her all the money back. And then some.
But he can't get back the time that she worked 2 jobs, coming home, lights is off. He can't give all that back,
But isn't that part of marriage, for better or for worse?
It is for better or for worse. That is very true. But it's like she, at the point that they finally divorced, she felt dragged, and that's a whole nother feeling when you feel like, dang, this person just doesn't care and doesn't want to help me, and I didn't love.
No. He did help her because he gave her money, but
he gave her
the emotional piece of it.
Yeah, he did give her the money back. But what I'm saying is the non-emotional part of what she went.
Have you seen Acrimony?
I didn't see the whole movie. I only saw the part. He comes in. Well, I see it's in bits of it, but from the part where she kicks him out, they get the divorce. And they're in the divorce. I mean, they're in the thing, and the sister is backing her up, and she all upset.
But see, anybody see that gonna be like, see, right, my sister.
But that's the thing is, she was so mad.
It was timing. She didn't know that this was finally gonna be the right one. You didn't think she was actually.
She was mad because of the sisters. The sisters were in her ear way too damn much.
Yeah, because once they got the money,
they were looking out for her.
Yeah, I felt like they were looking out for her, but his actions and the stuff he was doing wasn't necessarily helping the situation.
Oh man, she was so miserable.
She was miserable on a science project.
Yeah, and that's all he cared about.
Years, but he was working on this project for 20 years. It's like, bruh, put this to the side, get a job, help out financially, and then her not being able to have a baby and stuff like there was just so much she went through.
And then he named the boat.
Yeah,
still like with the wife. It was
and then she sees
everything
him
that
on,
they planned. He did it with the new wife
that she was supposed to have. She didn't work 20 years, making sure he had what he did in life, and now he's with this other woman.
He gave her
it's the woman. It's the woman that made it. It's the woman that she crashed into the place with because that was the woman he cheated on her with.
Like, okay, so you dragged me You beat me
But
for
that's the
20
woman that he
years.
cheated on her
But it's
with.
like, okay, so you did all this for 20 years, and now that you give me a couple of million or whatever, I'm supposed to shut up and let that go. You traumatized me for the last 20
I gave you
years.
$10 million. Go get some help.
No.
You go get some help
Wow.
with 10 million.
Wow.
Oh
You
my
married the
gosh,
woman that
I
she
didn't get
cheated
it.
with
I'm
and got
sorry.
her
I
pregnant
guess
when she
I'm
couldn't have a baby.
one of
Yeah,
those few women
after
that did
that,
not understand why she was so mad.
See, I guess
I
like
would get it. I would
maybe
totally
it's
get it
maybe
if
it's
he
like
left her.
emotional people versus non-emotional people. Like, so I
No,
think
if
the
he
emotional
left
people probably
her,
see, because like I said, there's some things that I agree with that I didn't. I was like,
Mhm.
I can see where she come from, but I can't, but I can, but I can't,
Yeah.
but
I
I
didn't
can't.
get
Like
it.
that's how I felt.
She was the
Yeah.
one who left him. She was the one
But
who
I
wanted
mean,
the
after
divorce.
20 years, you stayed for
That
20
man was
years.
homeless. She was done. And then as soon as he gets to come up, it's like, oh, I'm back now. What? And he was supposed to be okay with that. So because you suffered for 20 years and you kicked me out and you wanted the divorce and you wanted to do this, that, and the other, I became
All
homeless
I'll say, I
and
wouldn't have
all
waited
this
around
stuff.
20 years. So
Well,
for
I
me,
wouldn't have either, but
that's the
she
hard
did.
part.
So if
Yeah.
she chose to wait that long,
But
what was
she,
another year?
her breaking point was losing her mama's house. She never knew he was gonna get it back. He
Yeah,
never knew
she
he
had
was
no
really gonna
clue.
make it
Yeah.
big for real.
but the punishment was she left him.
She
So
left him.
once she left him, then that's his punishment. They moving on. She moving on with her life, and he moved on with his. And like Johnny was saying, he was homeless. She was still living with the sister, and she still was living her life. She moved on to another man.
She
Um,
wasn't happy with him. That was just
that doesn't matter. She moved on to another man. So she moved on with her life. He, on the other hand, was struggling and
and moved on with another woman.
Yeah.
right.
He didn't
But
struggle
Not
long because she came in
originally.
and rescued him.
but he ain't the
Not
one that's the problem.
originally.
Y'all saying y'all have a problem with the way he treated her during the time frame.
I'm
I have
saying
a problem
during
with
the
the fact that he wasn't
marriage,
a
that's
man for
where
20 years and then all of a sudden now you got your money and we supposed to just be like, okay, well, you gave me 10,000 and 10 million and I'm
So
just
why
yeah.
he was
Now
mad?
mind you, the 10 million I would have been grateful for that. I probably wouldn't have went so far as to like do everything she did, but it still would hurt. I probably would have laid around crying more so than anything. But then, like the sisters in to me made it
Why?
wrong when they ran and told too. I'm like, the sisters weren't supposed to do that either. But
But why would you be upset
look,
crying?
this is not even that show,
well,
that
it's
movie.
just
We
sad.
have to talk about this on
It's
another
like,
thing.
yeah.
When you
Look,
Check this out. It's kind of like what
I'm
me
still
and
talking
Sean
about
were saying.
Deontay
It
and
was like,
Nicole and
why
Tia.
be, yeah. And then like Sean was saying, why be sad about it? Because you just are. Like me and my ex, we had broke up. A month later, he was married to the woman he cheated on me with. So
y'all
of course
broke
you're gonna be sad,
but
you
but
know.
but when you broke up with did you break up with him or did a mutual breakup?
I broke up with him.
Uh-huh. So you was done with him. So
Yeah.
you tired of him
Well,
and you
actually,
know he was
technically,
going about his way and you went
I
back with
shouldn't
him.
have. I broke up with him, but I still had feelings. There
So
was
when he
still
got
feelings
married,
there.
did you wish it was you?
When he got married,
Yeah.
yeah, I did.
Why?
Because even though he did cheat on me, we had a great relationship. We really did. So in that moment, I did, you know. So yeah, but I can admit to that because I had real feelings there. So there was a lot of emotions there. So of course I was sad a month later. It's like, wait a minute, I've been with him, you know, and then now he's with her a month later and they're married.
Mhm.
I, I feel like it would be justifiable if I felt some type of way. If I showed up at their wedding acting a fool, that's something different. But I just cried to myself at home and, ate a bunch of junk food.
But that I can deal with that. But this woman went to go and wants to live
Yeah,
her
well,
life.
that's why we said
Now
she
that
got
part I don't
crazy.
agree with. I don't
Yeah,
agree with
yeah,
her getting on the boat and shooting them. I
yeah.
don't. But
No,
can I understand that tinge that she felt like,
yeah, I
what the
can.
hell? Now I
Yeah.
took care of you all these years. I can't have a baby. Well, that wasn't necessarily just his fault that she can't have the baby, but
Yeah.
still, all those thoughts would be going through my mind, and it's like y'all are getting married, and now she's pregnant. Like it's gonna hurt. It's gonna sting.
Hmm.
I didn't get it.
Yeah.
And then not only when she
Because
lost the house, he lost when she lost the house. he also had turned down like 800 and something $1,000. Granted, yes, he made a lot more by not selling his product to them people. But in the heat of the moment, you just made me lose my mama's house, and you turned down almost $1 million. What was she
And he was,
supposed to do? Be
and
like,
he was,
okay, baby, I'll wait, and we maybe in another 10 years you might actually get it. Let's just go be homeless
No, I mean,
together.
her being upset and ending the relationship, okay. Him even giving her money, because to be honest, he didn't even have to give her all of that. But
I feel like he
he
should have though.
still gave her all of that money. She wanted more because she still wanted half after all of that. But he got the money after they were divorced. He didn't even cheat on her while they were married. And the girl that came back into the picture a whole 20 something years later, he even waited before he had a relationship with her to make sure he was no longer married to her and that he was over her. He kept trying to be back with his wife. She didn't want him. So that's why I didn't understand how she got so mad and so upset and so possessive, coming to his house, doing all kinds
But
of crazy stuff.
she wasn't over him emotionally. She was just over the situation. She was
But
tired.
you're over the situation till he became a millionaire?
I don't think he ever tried to reach back out to her
But she
until that
wasn't.
time.
I wouldn't even say she was over him. And then all of a sudden she became not over him when he became a
That's what I'm
millionaire.
saying. She was
Sure, she tried
emotionally not
dating.
over him.
Yeah,
She
emotionally,
just
he
she
told me,
was tired. She was
yeah,
emotionally
she was just
tired.
tired. She was working all these times because you remember they showed her working like two jobs. She was tired. Her feet was hurting. You
And
know.
all the money that she had, she spent up pretty much because of him. She bought him a car. She paid for him to go to school. She
But at the end
she
of
did
it,
everything
he
for him,
gave
and he did
her
nothing for her for 20 years.
he still gave her way more than she would have earned in her whole lifetime.
Yeah, but that's the thing
But that
And
is,
still
then
doesn't
some.
she
take
did
away the
way more.
hurt
She did
that she, for 20
everything.
years, she
what
took
did
care of him. She even took her inheritance and paid for him to go to school. Like
Yeah,
she
bought
did
him a
all
car. She did
things.
everything.
So everything she
so
did, I cannot agree with. But the hurt, I can understand because it's like I
Hmm.
took care of this
I
person.
understand the hurt. Help me understand the hurt.
Oh my God.
What you mean? Because if you married and in a marriage and y'all for better or for worse,
Well,
for
she was
So
taking care of him
for
before they
reasons,
got married.
yeah.
Now the marriage right, I get that. Once you get married, it's not even her money versus his money because it's their money. But even before they got married, you remember when her mom died, she took her inheritance and
Yeah.
paid for him to go to school.
And bought him a
Like,
car.
yeah.
during the
And he
marriage.
used that car to
Well,
drive
they
and
weren't
go bring
married.
out
No.
girl.
So during the 20 years of that 20-year marriage, she was doing
Hmm.
all that stuff for him. So that
Mhm.
justified her being upset because he was working on his career, his
It
project,
wasn't a career. It
his
was
project.
a project that I know I got. That was his lifelong dream, but he could have did that on the side while helping provide for the household. She had to provide for a grown man while he did this.
Yeah.
And granted, yeah,
While he was getting to live out his
eventually
dream.
it paid off, but she didn't know it was gonna pay off. She had to lose everything to find out it was gonna pay off. She had to hit rock bottom when she didn't have to. Like, had he been helping, they would have maintained a normal life while he was still working on it. And then maybe had he been contributing, the sisters wouldn't have been so hard on him either. Because not only did that, the sisters, they lost their truck job too, because that was an important thing for them to get done, that delivery, and he didn't make the delivery. So not only did they lose their business, or an important, super important client, so then that hurt them financially. The sister and their husbands, she lost her mom's house, and he turned down almost $1 million. That's
So,
enough to make anybody go crazy. Like,
so the $10 million was in
nobody is saying that that's not a lie, or we saying we understand why she was still
I'm talking
hurt. Like, the money didn't. You saying
about,
that's like saying if you. That's why do you think rich people kill themselves? Because money ain't everything. But
Or I
you
also think
gave the life that you were supposed to, that you talked about giving her from when y'all were in college kids, to somebody else. She was hurt. She was just
yeah.
hurt. Now
And
she
then
went crazy, but she
yeah.
was hurt
And then
too.
I've also heard people like when they lose a loved one and then they sue, let's say it happened at their job or it was la la la, and they're like, well, why did that person get that much money? You took somebody from them that you can't ever bring back.
But
You
he
can't bring
was, he
the
didn't
love,
make,
the holidays, or all of the money that person would have made over their lifetime. So just throwing some money at them, or even like with
I'm
Brianna,
telling
they were like, her mom got all this money, she needs to leave it alone. Like, no, you can't tell her that here is some money, now you need to be quiet. Like, that is
but that's
terrible.
but that's not what's his intentions. His intentions was that he saw all that she done for him, and he appreciate all that he done, all the sacrifice that she made for him. So this is him giving her the money, saying that here, I appreciate what you've done. Now, the thing I was going to say about the emotion. Yeah, because that's a little bit too much right there. Well, I forgot because Leilani's calling me.
Well, back to the show, I guess, because I was still talking about Deontay now. I know I flipped it to acrimony because I made that
Yeah, we
comment
got all
about
this.
Johnny. But yeah, so Deontay's stupid because he allegedly he's stupid because he's going want to be with Tia still, and like I really do think he's probably, if he isn't gonna do it, they trying to make it seem like he will do it. So we'll watch for the wedding to probably be like, is there anybody objects? So he can say me. But as far as Tia and not that girl name just escaped me right
Nicole.
there. Nicole. So as far as Tia and Nicole, I feel like they it's weird. It is weird that they just brought this up now because this is something they had to have been dealing with. So why didn't they been say something?
Yeah.
But it's like I don't like. I understand. Okay, so I understand why Tia's rushing it. Like if I ain't got but so long to live, then shoot, I need my ring, I need my wedding, I need whatever. So I want to live this last whatever in a dream that I feel like it should be, and this is what I want. But to push that on somebody, and even to say, I want you to be able to make those decisions, who's to say Nicole can hold it together and make those decisions? Maybe her parents would make it better, but I don't know them. I don't know nothing about her parents. I just know they're older and that they obviously really love her because they all live in their house. But I agree, like it's too much for Nicole. Like the girl's like in her early 20s. She said when she was with Deontay that she didn't want to be in a real relationship. She just wanted to have fun. She get back with Tia, and all of a sudden she's getting married. She's remembering back to prison where they broke up, got together, broke up, got together, and it's like that's a scary thought. So it's like, you got to keep that in perspective. Like they didn't have a perfect relationship the whole time, so to rush it, and then it's like, man, my first marriage could end in divorce for real because we didn't even get along, and then even in the remember in that one, like when they showed them talking and she was like, well, you break up with me and then get back together, it's like so she's probably even thinking of that, like, am I still gonna be going through this when we get married? Because this obviously is stuff that was happening during this time frame. She didn't seem like she was talking about back in prison. So and I don't, if I was Tia, I'd be a little worried too, like, once we get married, are you for real gonna be with me? I know she said she will, but she could flip the game on her too. But I don't know. I just think I don't think it's a good idea to rush that. But hey, if that's what they feel they need to do, I guess. More power to them.
Okay. Now, because we jumped all the way off, I forgot. Sean, did you speak on Tia, Nicole, and okay? So, what are your thoughts on Tia, Nicole, and
um,
Deontay?
look at them. I
Forget them.
remember,
Is that what he said?
what I was going to say about the acrimony.
Oh my god.
Oh,
You're right.
you're right. Yeah.
You said that she was upset for the way that he treated her, all that type of stuff, blah blah blah. But she was happy when she saw that he was down and out. Because he was washing dishes. She was happy about that. So he didn't do. I don't think he did anything wrong as a man, because you kept on saying he's not a man. Because she agreed during the marriage to take care of him during their marriage.
Wait. At what part? Because that's something I don't remember. Where did she say, honey, I promise to take care of you?
When she was taking care of him and she didn't stop it, nipped it in bud, and divorced him.
She tried, but she just didn't know how to say it because he was a sweet talker, a smooth talker.
She should have. What you call
But I
it?
think he had
He
that
was a
hammer.
smooth talker. Like this is her first.
Look, Reese, I think he
It's
had
like
that
the first time
hammer.
she fell in love.
Everybody need to watch this whole movie.
No, I'm telling you what it was. It was the hammer. And some good hammer will have you doing stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. And that's the only one she had. And
Yeah.
he was a smooth talker. Period. They showed that in the beginning. He was a smooth talker.
Okay.
Because he was like playing her in the beginning.
Okay. I need to watch the whole movie.
Because even with her not being able to have a baby, and yes, she caused it. But if he never cheated, it wouldn't have happened either. And he knew she was crazy.
Yeah, he knew she was crazy when she pushed him off that damn thing when she found out he was cheating in the first place.
Yeah, that
before
camper.
their marriage. But during their marriage, he did not cheat on her. And when they were separated, he did not cheat on her.
Who wants a bum man? See,
what a what?
Now maybe that who wants a bum man? A man that ain't working, that ain't gonna help him pay bills, ain't gonna help him do nothing but play with his little project. She had that on lock. Who is he gonna cheat with? Well, I guess there's always women that'll just lay.
There's always women who will cheat with somebody like that. They didn't give him money. But he didn't. He did not do that during their marriage, and he didn't do it when they were separated.
When he was homeless?
Yeah, when he was homeless. He didn't cheat with that girl. She allowed him to stay in her home, but he wasn't sleeping with her yet. They waited a whole while before they actually had a relationship.
Either way, I still think that I understand where she's coming from, regardless. Like, I don't understand her going and trying to kill him and wearing the wedding dress. That was crazy.
Yeah.
But her being upset, I understood. Like, you can't just throw money and change things. Like, not once did he try, like, other than that day when she kicked him out of the house, to apologize or to do anything else.
Well, we all know that sometimes you don't realize to do or appreciate what you had till it's gone. So
but I think he could have got her back had he just tried to talk to her.
But he tried. He did. He kept trying to come back. Please, please, please. This is really going to happen. Please, please, please.
No.
And she just automatically
said this was going to happen
because it was with that girl.
By the time it was going to happen, him and that girl was already kind of like really close, because that's the reason that I feel like she helped him get to that final step, because they were already pretty much together.
At that point, they were, yeah. But
but that's the thing is, everything before the divorce, though, he wasn't trying. But before the divorce, he wasn't trying. He wouldn't. He didn't try before they got divorced. Like, that man could have got her back, I believe.
No,
I don't think it took the money.
Her sister was in her head. Her sisters were in her head, and she had already felt like he was cheating on her with that girl.
There was but you got to look at how that happened. It did look bad on him.
Yeah, it looked bad, but it didn't happen. And if he would have tried,
but this was the same woman that
that you cheated the first time, and because
let's talk back about the show, man. Yeah, we wasting the people's time. Like, they didn't tune in for acrimony.
It's my turn. It's my turn. It's my turn. It's my turn.
Go ahead. I see he's defending an alleged lowlife.
No, she didn't. All right, here we go. We're going back to the show. I didn't feel sorry for Tia. I didn't feel sorry for Nicole. All right, move on to the next person.
That's all you got to say. What about Derek and Deontay and the mom?
That situation was funny because I did like the way Derek was like, "What you said?"
Yeah.
Yeah, I did like that. That was funny. Now,
okay.
If Nicole, if she is really, not Nicole, if Tia is really sick, my heart and prayers go towards her, and hope that she does feel well. But because of the way they treated people and allegedly all of these scams that they allegedly is involved in, I kind of I don't know about the whole thing. So that's my opinion on it.
Yeah, I did feel for her in this episode, but then I had to also think about it. Tia is still alive and she's out here scamming people now. So let me, but I feel bad for anybody in that situation. But I was like, okay. So I know, unfortunately, she's out here scamming. So I know she's okay. But all right. So I guess we'll jump into the next one. Sean, here goes your boy, Stan and Lisa. So Stan and Lisa, they're still at the rock climbing place,
Mhm.
still hanging from the ceiling. I'm like, how long are y'all gonna be hanging from the ceiling
You
here?
said they've been hanging for a week.
Yes, they've been hanging for a week. And then don't they have people? I've only gone one time. Johnny, we took our boys. It seems like there's somebody like spotting you or a safety person at the bottom. So the safety person was also there for a week too.
Yeah, no.
Right? Okay.
There's someone at the floor, but they're not
Yeah.
really spotting. Uh, you're pretty free on your own,
Mhm.
But
unless you
maybe I
just
can
want that
grab it if the
person.
rope was to go the other way, wrong way or something.
Yeah,
Well, the
I don't
one
know.
we
If it was
went
a
Stan,
to,
Lisa.
it was anchored. It
yeah,
wasn't
we'll
held
see.
by anybody.
Okay. Well, that's what I was asking Johnny. I remember there being people on the floor, but I couldn't remember what they did. I didn't attempt to climb anything, but so I couldn't quite remember. But if they had spotters or whatever, they were there for a week too. Okay. I don't know why they're still hanging. And Stan's legs were still hung out.
Looking nice. They were
Yes, Stan's
tan.
legs,
Them things
they
got
look
real
Muscular.
toned after hanging for a week.
yes. Yes, his legs didn't turn red. They were still tanned and everything. Okay.
Dan has some nice legs. Oh, that's what I meant to say about who's that, Lacey?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah. Did y'all notice how big her calves were?
Mm-mm.
I didn't pay
Oh my
attention.
God, they were like
Oh, she got cackles? Oh, I gotta pay
pretty
attention to
much.
that.
That or
The
calf
things
implants.
are huge.
She might
I
have
was
calf
like, what
implants.
is this? I couldn't believe how big them calves were. If you looked at those calves, her
Uh-huh.
body, her upper body does not match her calves.
They
Her
probably
calves
fake.
are bigger than her waist.
They implants.
Uh,
She got them to match
she
the
is
boobs.
addicted to implants, so
Yeah,
that
that's what
she
I'm
probably
saying.
has some
They
implants.
implants.
You think they're
Mhm.
implants, or you
Yeah,
ain't
them things.
focused on your lower body?
Nah, they implants,
Because you
man. That
need
girl
some
don't do nothing for
liposuction in
real
them
to work
calves,
out.
girl. Things are huge. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. All right. So we see Lisa. She admits to being the Jasmine catfish girl. Stan says he thought that they were broken up, so that's why he was communicating with her. All right. So he says he doesn't think Lisa has been faithful to him, and she's been very secretive, which I'll agree with. She has been secretive with him. Um, and so then Stan goes into this rant that I kind of got, but then I kind of didn't, where he was like, when somebody walks into your life, you can't procrastinate because somebody else will come along and take them away from you. So you got to go after them, which I kind of understood, but it was just like his expression and his tone and the way he was into it, it was kind of, I don't know, it was just a little weird and kind of creepy to me. All right. And then he says he has missed opportunities. Well, guess what, Stan? When you're in a relationship or a marriage, you miss opportunities to be with other people. That's just how it works. Unless you cheat, but that's just how it works. So I was just like, I don't know. All right. And so Lisa says that she used to hate herself and she's not going to allow anyone to take her back to that place, which, and I can understand that. She felt like she used to be in a bad place and she doesn't want to go there. And maybe what they have going on could possibly take her to a bad place. So, I mean, I can respect that in the relationship if you see things going that way. Don't allow yourself to be pulled back into a bad space. Alrighty. And then Stan asked her, she's like, well, he asked her, oh, where do they go from here? And Lisa says she thinks that they should leave it at a friendship. Okay. Lisa also says that Stan has given her a lot of cash and that she saved up like $3,500 of his money. So she's gonna just go to a hotel and then see where like life takes her from there. Right. Alrighty. So what do you guys think? And what about Stan's little rant about procrastinating? Uh oh. Johnny's clapping. What's going on,
I'm glad they're over.
Yeah.
Johnny?
Be done
Yeah.
and go on about your life. They were horrible together,
Yeah.
or apart together, whatever the hell they had going on. Like I said, personally, I feel like Lisa just thought she had an old man in the bag that she could treat like shit and get a bunch of stuff from. And that's not who she had. And he had to let her know, no, that ain't me. I don't mind helping you when you need it, but You're not just gonna take all my money, honey. So I'm glad they're over. And Stan's rant, he's right. If I think we're broken up, I have the right to pursue whoever the hell I want to pursue. And I don't think I should let them go. I'm sure he was disappointed that old girl wasn't real, but I'm
He
sure
said
he
he felt
has plenty of
stupid.
folks in his Facebook that he can reach out to. I didn't know Facebook was a place to date.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
But anyways, that's all I have to say about them. I'm glad they're done.
And so,
Yep.
Sean, tell us your thoughts on your man this week.
Well, Stan ain't the man.
He is not the man?
Not
Okay.
the man.
Tell me
Stan,
about that.
he when he got called out on the Jasmine thing, I
Hmm.
thought that was a lame excuse. Oh, what? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he did. He did play crazy, didn't he?
Yeah, he should have did a better acting job than that. So I was very disappointed in his performance. Because if you're gonna act like you have amnesia, then you got to really make it seem believable. He did not. Um, and then after that wasn't believable. He's talking about I thought we broke up. I was like, no, dude, you couldn't say that because you told everybody you was waiting for a sign. So and the sign came. So
Look, I'm about to pass out. I can't believe Sean is saying all these things. I just knew he was going to jump into the defensive stand this week, but I'm proud of you. Very proud. This must be
I
hard.
don't know why, because I always kept it real. It's just that the two sisters always was contradictory about their comments about Stan and Lisa. But the he and then that rant in a way he do have a good point, like he was saying, that if someone do come in your life, you should jump at it or somebody else is going to take it. However, like he was saying, if you're in a relationship, of course you're going to miss out on those opportunities because you're trying to be faithful to that person that you're with. And if he was so-called supposed to be faithful to Lisa, then he shouldn't be worrying about the opportunities that he missed out on.
Right.
But we knew she was in for the money. She saved up what she could save up because he was talking about the argument, trying to pretend like he didn't know what the argument was about. And she's talking about it was about sex. You upset because you wouldn't let me.
Yeah, okay. So I'm glad you brought that up because when she was hanging, they were hanging. She was like, "Oh, you know why you got mad at me? You got mad because I wouldn't put you in a straitjacket." And you could tell she was about to say something else, but she stopped herself. So my thought process was, wait a minute. So he wanted to be in a straitjacket and something else. Like, what are y'all over there getting into now? Now
Mhm.
I'm scared.
Yeah,
I'm kind of glad that she stopped, but it was still like, wait a minute,
yeah, good.
y'all. He asked you to do something else. Like, what?
But
What is
yeah,
it?
when in a straight jacket, she probably whooping him or poking him. Or...
Yeah, but
Yeah, but apparently he wanted something else,
so
and
on
she was
that,
about to say it, but she caught herself, and I'm like,
yeah,
hmm.
but on that note, it goes to show that he still was giving her money even though she wasn't having sex with him.
But he
So
didn't say that. Okay, I guess with them, they didn't say like if their sex life was going on. Like Lacey, she keeps making it seem like they're never having sex. They didn't say. She just said that apparently Stan got mad at her because she wouldn't put him in a straitjacket.
right, and that time she wanted some money at that time, and he
Hmm?
didn't give her the money.
I
Where you
didn't
getting
hear
that
anything
from?
about the money.
The,
Yeah.
the text message when she,
No,
He didn't say anything about a
it's been past
straitjacket
that
in the
point.
text message. Yeah. In the
they,
text message, he didn't say anything about a straitjacket. He just told her he wanted to spend some days with her.
no, in the text message that was she only showed what he was saying. He said that he wanted some. If she have sex with him, then she'll give him some money.
But is this all back to back, or has there been a little bit of time in between?
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the
Yeah, I
fact.
know what you're talking about, but I'm saying, but hasn't there been some time in between that? That was like a few episodes ago.
But that's what the argument was about.
No.
Okay, that was one of their
So
arguments.
apparently there was another night where he wanted her to put him in a straitjacket and she
Mhm.
wouldn't. So they caught the attitude. So the attitude was caught. He caught an attitude with her, which led him to believe that they were broken up. So that's why he was okay with talking to the catfish.
Because I don't even see why he thought they were broken up, because she was still at his house.
He didn't. That was just a bad excuse.
Yeah.
He was caught. He was caught, and he just didn't know what to say.
Right. Which
He
I
was
had.
just trying to justify himself. I don't, by any means, truly think he felt like they were really broke up. Because if I thought I was broke up with you, I wouldn't be going to the hotel to pick you up.
Right.
And planning an outing for
And
us.
planned it, yeah. Because
Yeah.
you know he paid for that rock climbing. She didn't
Yeah.
pay for it.
Yeah. So, and then later on, the fact that they did decide to break up and go separate ways, I'm happy that they are split. I'm tired of their foolishness.
Right.
Yeah. That's it.
So, I'm glad they split up too, because I mean they both deserve to be happy, and it was apparent they weren't gonna ever be happy together, because they weren't the same. They never been the same since the day one. Like, he paid for an escort that he fell for, and his own mistake. You know what I'm saying? But it was like I didn't care for him talking about something they broke up, because I just remember when she said she was going to hang out with old girl, it appeared to me they weren't broke up. They were like annoyed with each other or arguing, but they weren't broken up. They weren't broke up. She just said she was going to hang out with her friend, and he said he was going to hang out with the boys. So that's why I'm like, when did y'all break up? At that point, but he may not have been giving her money at this moment in time after that supposed breakup or whatever. But either way, like, they both was dumb. Like, she saw the signs that he wasn't being faithful. He saw the signs that she was using him. They should have called it quits a long time ago. So I'm glad that's done. Maybe there'll be more to it, maybe not, but because I know right now they both have moved on, but I don't know. I just feel like Stan hit her with that same thing that he always says, I don't remember. And that mess got old. So hopefully this new woman that he's with, like, you know what I'm saying, he can start remembering. They closer in age, and if that's the case, hey, they'll forget together, I guess. But yeah, she was too young for him probably, and I don't know. I don't really get what she wanted from him for real, and what he really wanted, because if he really wanted to marry her, he wouldn't have been talking to the other women. If she really wanted to keep him because she realized, I'm going to lose him and I want to be with him, she wouldn't have been trying to set him up. I don't know. It was just too much drama. So I'm glad that they split up. And I'm sure they're not going to be friends, but yeah, friends is probably all they can be.
Yeah, I think they might need to just cut it off, because I don't know if they can even be good friends. I feel like because Lisa holds a lot of resentment towards Stan, and she feels like Stan really did her just really, really wrong. So I think she's always going to have I need to get him back kind of mentality, or at least for a while, I think. So I don't know if they're capable of being friends as long as she has those type of feelings.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Yeah, so that was Stan and Lisa. All right. So then we had John and Christiana. Another tear-jerking moments here. So Christiana says it's been a few months since they renewed their vows. And so we see her talking to her mom. And Christiana also reveals that right now is the longest that she's been clean. I guess she started taking drugs. This is the longest. And so she says that her mom has discovered that she has lung cancer. All right. And right now she's living at some kind of facility where she's getting chemo and radiation. And so we see Christiana talking to her mom on the phone. She's telling her mom they're going to come and visit. And, she's telling her to stay strong. And, well, we see Christiana in a confessional, and she's saying that she's trying to be strong and stay sober at the same time. So I'm thinking she may like her sobriety may be kind of testing her a little bit, but she's trying to stay sober. And so they go visit Christiana's mom at the facility. And the mom reveals that it's hard not having her kids around because they also reveal that they still have not talked to Tara. So, I mean, that's got to be hard. You're sick, you haven't talked to your child. I don't even know if Tara knows her mom is sick. I hope. The only thing I can say is I hope that she doesn't know, and that's why she's staying away. I hope once she finds out, she comes around. Um, and so Christiana's mom, I'm not trying to make light of the situation. She has on a wig, she's got her makeup on, so she made herself look pretty. And then she asks John to, give them a moment or whatever, and she actually removes her wig and she shows Christiana. And I loved how Christiana was very nice and complimentary of her mom. She's like, look at that diva with these lashes on and stuff. And so I can only imagine it was probably hard seeing her mom like that, but I was glad that she was able to at least be in good spirits to, be complimentary of her mom like that. Right. And so the mom, she becomes emotional about her hair loss, which I guess that's understandable as well. And so, yeah, so they just kind of become emotional together, which, like I said, it was just those were sad scenes with John and Christiana. What did you guys think?
Same. It was sad. Like,
Sad. Yeah. I think, I think one of the things that I'm kind of glad that Christiana focused on was the fact that she has more empathy. I think that's the right word. With what her mom probably went through with her dealing with her moments when she would become, I don't know, what do they call them? They're drug
she
addicts.
relapsed and went
Yeah,
back
her
to
relapses and stuff. The worry, the constant just the worry that a mother would go through, not knowing what her child is doing. Are they dead in the street somewhere? And I think that this has really put perspective with her to know what her mom went through. I'm glad she touched on that, and I do uh, pray for her mother. I'm not sure what her status is now. I don't. They didn't really say if they caught it early, but it's never easy watching somebody go through cancer and chemo
Right.
and all that stuff. So my prayers to her and her family.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Sean, what did you think?
Well, I agree with everything Jen was saying. Uh, but the one negative about the whole thing is the fact that she was talking about her sister and her sister not being here. I think she shouldn't worry about that. She should concentrate on the time that she has with her mom. Because if the mother was to pass and the sister did not make it there, I believe she's going to show even more resentment towards her sister. And she'll be
Mm,
like, Mama was crying out for you, Mama wanted you, and you wasn't here for Mom, and that's going to ruin the relationship.
yeah. And then, so I guess I'm kind of jumping back a little bit on what I said because now thinking about it, as much as it's probably hurting the mom, it may not be in the best interest for the mom to see Tara if she's drugged out right now. Maybe
Yeah.
she can call her, but I don't know how well that's going to do if the mom sees her. Because remember, she broke down at the wedding and was like, was I a good mom? If she sees her daughter strung out, she may, you know, feel some spoiling. So, yeah, so I hope Tara at least calls her, you know.
yeah.
What did you think, Racy?
Same. It was sad. I mean, if you're like y'all said, if Tara is strung out, yeah, she shouldn't come around right now. But hopefully, like you said, she doesn't know, and that's the reason she hasn't even reached out. Period. Um, and it's sad. You can see both of them are hurting, and then they both are hurting that the sister hasn't come
Mm-hmm.
around too. So it really was all around sad. I did. I also like when the mom when she took it off and was like, you look good, and still told her she
Yeah.
beautiful. Because when she answered the phone, I was looking. I'm like, does the mom got cancer or something? 'Cause it didn't look like she had hair and she had the wrap on.
Mm-hmm.
And then she was like, hey, you look beautiful. And I'm like, I felt bad afterwards, obviously, because I was like, don't she making that mean face? because she was all like, "Hey," but she still was looking mean. And then
Mhm.
I'm like, "Oh, she got cancer. Okay, I can't talk about the mean like the rest in B face until she comes out of that." But um, that was a sad storyline. So
It
like you said,
was.
the stuff with Tia and Nicole, and then them two, I'm like, man, with all this possible death and all this stuff, I'm like, yeah, this is not what we want to see on the show. Like, not that it's
Yeah.
their life and this is what's happening, so we can't stop it, but it's like, man, this,
Yeah. Then I
yeah,
also want to
too
mention her
much.
mom was really brave to take the wig off.
Oh yeah, because even though she didn't show it to John, or not John, what's his name?
Yeah, his name is
Oh,
John.
oh, okay. So even though she didn't show it to John, like she still showed it to everybody. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
I
So
also liked how John was actually being as well, just supportive and,
yeah.
you know, filling that role like he can't there's nothing he can do but be
yeah.
there. I
And then
thought
I
Yeah.
that
like
was cool too.
he was also kind of joking around like on her scooter. He's
Mhm.
just trying to
Lighten the mood.
be lighthearted. Yeah,
Hmm.
absolutely. So yeah. All right. So our final couple was Puppy and Amber.
Oh, I forgot they even had a spot.
I was like, dang, I thought we were done.
Yeah, me
I
too.
forgot what was. Yeah.
It
All right.
wasn't
So Puppy.
much.
It
Yeah, it
wasn't.
wasn't very much because they just showed Puppy was helping Amber get into her house, and she took her back to her bedroom and was trying to help her get into some pajamas. And Amber is flirting and trying to kiss on Puppy, trying to pull her onto the bed and stuff like that. Um, Puppy actually ends up getting her dressed for bed. And like when Puppy was like, "Yeah, I'm trying to find you some clothes to put on," she's like, "Well, I don't need no clothes to put on. Just get me out this dress." I was
Mm.
just like, "Oh my god." And so, but Puppy was, still like, okay, this woman is not gay. I'm not going to allow her to play with me in this way. So Puppy, she did not go for any of Amber's advances, which I thought was cool because Puppy could have taken advantage of that situation if she wanted to. But when she gets back home, Puppy gets back home, her boyfriend is there. He's up, he's like, he thought she was going to be in earlier. And so she tells him that, that Amber was acting kind of gay when they were together. And you can instantly tell he doesn't like that. So he has some insecurities with that. And he's not happy hearing it, to the point where Puppy's like, I won't tell you about anything like that anymore. All right, so what are your guys' opinion on Puppy and Amber this week?
Well, I think it was cool that Puppy was able to keep her cool and not
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
fall in the trap.
Yeah,
And
because we all know she cares about her. She does care about her.
so she was able to say no. And then when she went home and she was honest with her boyfriend, I thought that was a good move also. Respect.
Yeah, but now she feels like she can't even be honest with him no more. I'm like,
Yeah, because I think in a sense that she knows uh, he's not going to keep being comfortable with her, hanging out with her, if that's going to keep being an issue.
mm-hmm.
So she wants to still have a friendship with her. And I think that would be hard to, knowing his insecurity about it, I don't see why keep letting him know. You know,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're really trying to be with him and work things out with him, no, he shouldn't have control over who you hang out with or anything like that. But I would make him feel comfortable enough to know that that's not where I'm going. And he feels like that's where you're headed, or that you still care enough that you're going to do it.
yeah. All
Oh,
right.
oh, so yeah. I'm glad also that she didn't fall for it. Because she know. I mean, I guess if that was the only female she ever been with, she knew like it's the drunk talk, the alcohol talking. So if it was gonna happen, I guess it should have been something that would happen sober, not drunk. So
Mhm.
if that ain't the case, then we know it's just you going through a breakup and you said and I'm familiar, So I'm glad she didn't let it go on or whatever, and took care of her friend like a friend would probably do in that situation. Got her home safely, then got back to her house, and I'm like, I guess I see both sides of it. I see why Eric was upset because you did say she was acting gay or whatever, but it's like he said, this is what he's afraid of because he knows the feelings that they have for each other. So it's like, okay, I can't let y'all hang out because this is like you hanging out with an ex boyfriend that you claim you don't have feelings for, but then he's acting like this. You know, you're like, oh, he acted like he wouldn't be with me. That wouldn't be cool. So it's the same thing, just a female. However, watching how Puppy handled the situation, even though some things she kind of let slide, and I think it was just to not be mean or not to cause any issues. Um, I don't think she would allow herself to lose Eric necessarily for Amber, unless it was actually going to be something. But I know she sees that it's not. They really are just trying to be friends. So.
Okay. So Sean, you have anything?
Oh,
Oh, he already went.
You already
Oh
went.
yeah, you wait. Yeah. I think that acrimony knocked me off already. Okay, so that was this week's episode or last night's episode of Life After Lockup. Thank you guys for watching, and make sure you catch us Monday for the recap of the Real Housewives of Potomac. All right. So thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye.